The law of assumption is like simple math. 2 plus 2 equals 4. This formula is not true one day and then not true on another day. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am Your Muse Traci. I am here to inspire you and empower you to live the life of your dreams, to create on purpose exactly what you want in all areas of your life, to stop settling and to stop suffering. You are not here to suffer. If that sounds good to you, you are more than welcome to join me and subscribe to my channel. So let's talk all about, in this video, I want to talk all about how law of assumption is exactly like simple math. And the analogy that I'm trying to make here is that it works every single time. And you know, I know when you're first learning to create your reality according to law of assumption, according to the law, you sometimes waver, you sometimes go in and out of believing it. And I'm going to talk about why that is one of the tripping points. That's one of the things that is potentially holding you back. And I'm going to talk about how you don't do this with simple math. Again, 2 plus 2. Okay, so let's get into it for today. The formula of, again, let's use the simple example, 2 plus 2 equals 4, isn't true with just beans. It's true with everything. It's true if you're counting beans. It's true if you're counting Bentleys. This formula is truth, and truth is true always. Now, law of assumption is just like this. Let me demonstrate how you use simple math the correct way, and sometimes you use law of assumption the incorrect way or the wrong way. So let's say you go to your favorite coffee shop and you purchase your morning coffee, and let's just say the coffee is $4 and you give the barista $10 and the barista gives you back $5. You would, of course, use simple math to, calculate, well, I gave you 10, the coffee was 4, I need 6 back instead of 5. And you would continue to trust the simple math that you know works every time. And you would not just believe the 3D evidence you're getting back and start to believe, well, maybe 10 minus 4 is 5. You don't do that. You don't doubt the formula that you know works every single time, which is, again, simple math. And, you don't get the wrong change back and you go, well, I guess math isn't working right now. Or math doesn't work. Maybe I did something wrong, or maybe math doesn't work in this coffee shop or on this day, or, in this state or in this country or whatever. You don't do that. You don't doubt the simple math because you know it works every single time. And if there is a mistake, the mistake is just simply that someone used it incorrectly, right? You got the wrong change back. You know what the change is meant to be, so you can proceed in handling it however you want. But the point I'm trying to make is you don't make math wrong. You know the math works every single time, right? You know that in every single coffee shop, in every moment, in every state, in every country on earth, 10 minus 4 is 6. It's not 5, right? It's always so. And if the barista made a mistake, you don't stop believing in the math. Do you? No, you don't do that. You know that math always works every single time. Now, it is this exact level of confidence and belief that you have yet to accept or cultivate or practice with law of assumption. I'm assuming if you're watching this video, maybe this is something that you struggle with. Think about the times recently that you've chosen something through your affirmations or your intentions or your assumptions, however you prefer to practice law of assumption, and you've persisted in this assumption, and then you receive maybe an opposite reflection or a wrong reflection. Wrong meaning not what you assumed or not what you intended. And I have many videos talking about opposite reflections. I'll put the card up here and link to one of those videos. But okay, so you get the opposite reflection of your assumption, or just maybe something that isn't your assumption that you've been living in and practicing. And instead of saying, well, I know the law of assumption works every single time in every coffee shop, in every moment, in every state, in every country, because it's the law. Instead of doing that, you look at the opposite and you go, huh, it didn't work. Maybe the law doesn't work. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. I must need to work harder or try harder, or maybe I need a new technique, or maybe I need a new specific person because this specific person is still saying the old thing to me, right? Or maybe I just can't do it with this specific person. Let me go and get another specific person because that one will be easier to, use the law of assumption with. So you can see how the moment something in your 3D isn't reflecting your assumption back to you, the way you intend, what you're intending for, what your desire is, you turn on your belief in the law of assumption. And this isn't a judgment. I'm not minimizing the amount of practice and effort it might take to fully believe in law of assumption all the time, because I've been there. I know what it's like when you're converting your belief system, believing in the law of assumption to the level that you can believe in math, simple math, 2 + 2 = 4. It takes some work, and it takes some diligence and commitment and practice. I mean, you've been believing in simple math for a while, so give yourself some time to cultivate the same level of belief in the law of assumption. But I will tell you, you need this level of belief. So think about it. If you could, and I'm here to tell you that you can, what if you could cultivate the same belief in law of assumption that you now have in simple math? What if you could do that? Ask yourself, spend some time contemplating, thinking about, no matter what shows up in your 3D reality, you don't doubt the law of assumption. You don't doubt yourself. You don't doubt yourself as the one and only creator of your reality. How would everything in your world be different? How would you be different? What if you could, every time there's an opposite that shows up in your reality, instead of going, yeah, law of assumption didn't work for this Bentley, it works for the beans, but it doesn't work for Bentleys, which is what a lot of you do with, specific person manifestation. You can manifest a free coffee, but when it comes to manifesting your specific person, there's so much doubt there. And you're essentially saying, I know my analogy sounds a little more silly, but you're essentially saying it works with beans, but not with Bentleys. And that's not true. It works every time, in every coffee shop, in every state, in every moment, in every country, everywhere, with every subject that you want to apply it to. It works. If you work it, you are the one that has to work it. So instead of going, yeah, law of assumption didn't work with this Bentley or with this specific person like it works with beans, of course, I can use it for beans, just not for Bentleys. What if instead of doing this, you said, I'm acknowledging that right now I'm getting an opposite reflection, or I'm getting a quote unquote wrong reflection, or acknowledging your reflection hasn't caught up to your assumption yet. But I know that law of assumption works every single time. If I persist, and if I remember that I'm always the cause and never the effect, it works every single time. It works with beans, it works with Bentleys, it works with my specific person, it works with every person, right? Not just that lucky person over there. It works for every person. The law of assumption is not partial. This is not a game of, deserving. It's an impartial law. It works for everyone, just like gravity does. So what if you did this every single time you got an opposite reflection, or a reflection that, wasn't exactly what you were intending to get? Instead of losing your faith or belief in the law of assumption and wavering, what if you stood firm in your new belief of law of assumption and you did not waver. I can tell you what if. I can tell you what would happen. What would happen is you would see more and more and more of your assumptions harden into fact around you. The only reason you are not experiencing that right now, and I'm assuming if you're watching this video that maybe you're not seeing all of them harden into fact, and the only reason is because you give up your belief in the law too quickly, too easily, and too often. Unlike you do with simple math. You don't abandon 2 plus 2 very often, do you? You don't question 2 plus 2 very often, do you? No, you don't. I'm just going to make that assumption because it's just something that you accepted. Well, the law of assumption is just like that. If it resonates with you and if you like the idea, you have to practice accepting it, not questioning it, until that becomes automatic, just like simple math. You've accepted it. There was probably a time when you didn't accept it, or when you didn't know it. And it took some time and it took some practice. Let's not minimize that. Just because maybe it was a long time ago, there still was practice involved in that. And accepting law of assumption is no different. You have to commit to accepting it and not turning on it and not saying, oh, it doesn't work with this one person or this one thing or in this one coffee shop. Sounds silly when I'm saying it now, but this is what you do. If you're not seeing the results that you want to see, you are wavering in your commitment to believing law of assumption. And when you do this, because when you doubt the law, by the way, this too is a creative moment. And you will create more evidence that law of assumption doesn't work for you. Or, for Bentleys, when you're trying to create Bentleys, because this is your universe. And it is as you say it is. So every time you doubt law of assumption, you are weakening the power. You are weakening the power it can have in your life. I mean, you can never actually weaken the power. It can never actually not work, but you have the power to create the illusion of it not working. You're just using the law of assumption. If you're doing this, if you're going back and forth, if you're doubting it one day and trying to use it the other day, you're just creating, you're using the power that you have within you, the innate power that you have, to create more illusion of being the victim, right? Of being, of creating the illusion of it not working. It's never actually not working because it's the law. You're just, when you flip-flop, and you use your creative moment to doubt the law of assumption, to doubt yourself, to doubt that you're creating everything, you're creating the illusion that you are not powerful, but it is an illusion. And you are doing that because you can never not use the power to create your reality. Newsflash. So you are using the power that you always have to create the very illusion that you have no power when you're doing this. That's actually how powerful you truly are. And I'm going to wrap up this video, but I want to let you know that this is exactly what I help my clients to do. And if you need some help with this, again, I'm not minimizing this. I've been there. I understand what it's like. But at some point, you have to be tired of this illusion. You have to be tired of not trusting yourself and not trusting the law and not trusting your innate power. And when you get to that point, then you will make a decision and you will make a commitment to yourself to stop fooling yourself and to stop flipping into the illusion of powerlessness, of being a victim, because that is not the truth. It's illusion. And again, this is exactly what I help my clients to do. So there's links down below for one-on-one coaching and my next group coaching, which is now on sale for some time. And that's it for this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.